Okay, Bismillah. We would like to write a Java program which reads unknown numbers of integers using a scanner and counts the number of odd numbers and the number of even numbers, and we assume the input integers are all positive. Use a negative number as a sentinel to stop reading numbers. So, to summarize, we would like to read numbers, and we keep reading numbers. As long as the user is giving us a positive number, we are going to count how many odd and how many even he gave us. And we're going to stop once he give us a negative number. So we stop the counting thing. So first of all, let's just cut this big problem into a smaller set of problems. The first smaller problem that I can do, what is it? What is the first thing that I can do that will help me just solve this problem?
We use the scanner first.
We use the scanner. Okay, so let's do that. Week 07, lecture 08, exercise 03. So let's put the scanner, and we are going to declare scanner, let's say input equal new scanner. But you know what, there's an easier way to do that. You can put control space, and you can see, I can see which package it's in, because now I select this one, press enter. You notice that I have the import that is already there, system.in, the control space, and then you select the right one. We have the scanner. What should we do next? We'd like to have a loop that repeats as long as we give a positive number. If we give a negative number, it should stop. This is the next step that we need to work on. So how shall we do it? A do-while loop. Yes, looks good, because we just seen that, the example with the boxes. Do, and then something, and then while, and then something, and then semicolon. But now we don't know what we need to put inside here. So do what? Okay. Enter a positive number. Enter a number, and then we're going to see. Okay, then we need to read that number. So I need to declare that. So int number, and then I put number. Did you realize I put the declaration on top? Why is that?
We can say to be declared problems. Because it will be repeated, so it should be declared more.
Why can't I just, for example, declare it inside here? It is possible. But the problem is that if I'd like to put my condition, if this is positive, I will keep repeating, right? As long as this is positive, if the answer to this question is true, go and repeat again. But if it's negative, I need to stop. But if I declare something here inside, this is only known inside those braces. So this number is not known outside. That's why you see that I have a mistake here. Regardless of what this question means, but this is not permissible because the int is declared only inside. So I need to declare this outside of these braces, so it can be accepted to be as a question in the while. So because of the scope of a variable is that when I declare something between inside of a braces, there it is known only inside of that brace, those braces, and whatever is inside of it. So now what I did is just something like this. Is this going to stop when my number is negative?
No. Yes. It's negative. Yeah, it will stop.
Let's try it. So enter a number. If I put 5, enter another number. 6, 5, 4. So it's keep repeating. And if I type -2, it stops. So this is what I want. So this is the first step. I made a loop that takes positive numbers, and it will stop only when there's a negative number. Okay? Next step,
Alternate.
calculate how many odds, how many even. How do I know if something is odd or even? Plus 2?
Divide by 2 is the greatest. Divided by 2.
If divide by 2,
Not divide.
okay, let me do something, okay? I'm asking a question. What is inside of the question?
Reminder.
If the number,
Reminder 2.
reminder division by 2
Equal 0. Equal 1 or 0.
equal 1 or 0, let's say 0 for example. So in this case,
Oh, even. Even, yes.
even when it's 0.
Yeah.
Else, there's no other option. Either it's even or odd. So let's confirm that. So this is my next step. Odd, 9, odd, 8, even. So it's working. Minus 8. Did you realize it also, because it's even, but we don't want to display this now. But this is going to create a problem for us later on. But let's deal with that problem later on. Now, instead of displaying even or odd, I just would like to count how many odds and how many evens.
Which interval?
No, I need to count. For example, let's just remove this one. Let's just put like something like this. Put some comments. I run it again. 5, 8, 7, whatever. I'm typing a lot of numbers. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Now I'm asking you, how many odd numbers are there? So first you need to understand, make sure that you understand really what you need to be your output. Because now you got some mixed understanding. Should I calculate the sum of those, or should I display them all, or should I count how many of them? And what is needed is write a Java program which reads the known numbers of integer using a scanner and counts the number of odd numbers and number of even numbers. So I need to count. So how many odd numbers? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 odd numbers. How many even? 1, 4. 1, 2, 3.
5.
Sorry? Minus 1 is counted, but I don't want to count minus 1. So normally this is my output, what I want. I want 1, 2, in this case 1, 2, 3. This is the number of odds, and even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what I want. So how can I do that? How can I count them? I need to declare something that will help me count odd and count even. So, what's next?
We need to print count of.
I don't want to print anything. I just will, at the end, after I finish everything, I will display the number of odd numbers is, and count odd, for example, and then the number of even numbers
How the program will know?
and count even. Now this is my job to make this something. Now it's complaining, it's telling me the variable has not been initialized. You know, we haven't put anything inside of this count odd and count even. And when you in the computer, well, get me what's inside and display it on the screen. There's nothing inside. We haven't put anything inside. So in order just to remove this message, I can put 0, put whatever. So if I put something, now you can see that it doesn't complain anymore. But let me just leave it like that until we find a way. How can I count how many even and how many odds?
We count odd equal.
Count odd where? First of all, where?
But how the program will know how many times you enter? Like if you enter 5, number enter 4.
Yes.
First of all, we must before
after the while, because we want it after the condition.
After.
after while.
After the while? Here? So what should I do here?
Count all the money.
Count even or odd? Okay. Is equal to what?
This condition. Number defined.
Well, a value equal to a condition? No, because a condition, the result of the condition is either it's true or false. And you're trying to put a true or false into an int, doesn't work. Sorry? Well, we only have an if condition. Why don't we use this one? Once we have a number, what should we do? You give me a number, I determine if this number is odd or even, and then I add 1 when it's odd, and add 1 for the one that's even. The counter of odd is going to be added to 1, or the counter of even added to 1.
Yeah, so we put the inside if it's statement.
So it's inside here that something should happen. Either here or here. So now I got a number. And then when I got that number, I'd ask a question to find out if it's even or odd. If this is true, it's going to be even here. And it's going to be odd here. So once it's even, what should I do? The count of even. What happened? Count even equals count even plus 1. Exactly, plus 1. You seem so not sure, but that's it. Actually, should be like something like this. I increment if it's even, I increment the even. If it's odd, I increment the odd. But it is complaining. It is telling me you have not put anything inside of count. You want me to add 1 to it? Add what to what? So I need to have an initial value. Now it makes sense. So what I did, let's just find out. I just have 2 different variables, count odd and count even. Both of them starts with 0. Every time I'm going to read the number, I'm going to check if that number is odd or even. If it's odd, I'm going to increment the counter of odds. So it was 0, it will become 1. If it is even, I'm going to count the counter of even. Right? And then at the end, I'm going to display. Let's see if it's working. I'm just removing some extra lines. Now let's enter a number. 8, 5, 9, 6, whatever. I'm just typing numbers randomly. That's it. Minus 1, let's say. Let's count the number of even numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So number of even numbers, 4. That's good. Okay, what about this one? The odd numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it counted this negative. I don't want it to be counted, because this should not be counted. It should be 5 here. It should not be.
Minus 1 is even.
So, yeah, but I don't want it to be counted. Minus 1 for me just meant stop. Ask me. It didn't mean like this is a number to be counted as odd or even. This is the sentinel. It was just meant just to represent the end of the loop. So this is not this should not be calculated as well. So how to deal with that? Now we're almost done. We had something that's just going to find out, calculate how many odds and evens, but we still have the case where the number is.
We put another if statement with the else.
Like what?
And we should
If
do a
x
while loop.
bigger
not do
than
while.
0.
Or maybe a while loop might be more appropriate. Well, let's continue with the do while, and then maybe we'll find out if a while loop can be better in that case.
We
Yes.
add one more condition.
Yes, we need to ask a question. Before doing this, for example, we need to ask a question. If this number is greater or equal to 0, then we're going to be doing this. this calculation.
I mean, the same if number remain var and greater than 0.
Or maybe yes, but then if we don't do it also here, if for example the number is negative, it's going to make this whole question becomes false, and then it will go to the else. What I meant is this. Let me just maybe remove this. Okay. If you're saying you'd like to have something like this, and right, this and number greater or equal to 0. But if the number is not greater or equal to 0, let's say I type -2. No, it will not skip. Everything here is going to be false. When this is false, I go to the else. And I'm going to add this to 1. This is what I meant. So what you say is true. I need to put 1 here, but I still need to put 1 here as well. So let's keep this one here, and I still need to put 1 here. And I'm going to increment only if the number is positive. You got my point? But it's becoming complicated, but it will work. I'm just asking now, just to make it tested now, if you count how many odd numbers? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's working. Number of even? 1, 2. So it's working now. Even if I start it again, but then this time I type minus, and then and -2, for example. 2 odd and 2 even. So it's still working. So this is okay, and I just had to deal with this with adding these 2 questions over here. But what if we change it, instead of the do while, I can use a while? And just to show you this, I'm going to put this into a comment. Let me put this into a comment. Maybe just here. These are called block comments. So I'm commenting the whole block, and I'm going to try to use a while. While what? While number is greater or equal to 0. I'm going to do the same thing here, except that I have a problem. It tells me what's inside of number. There's nothing inside of number here. But I need to put something, because I want the first time, I want this to be true. You can put 0. Any value can be okay. Any value. But 0 is okay. 0 is greater or equal to 0. Yes, I get inside. I'm going to do the same thing, except that I'm going to remove those questions over here, because I don't need them anymore. Why I don't need them anymore? Because I already asked it. If the number was not positive, I'm not going to be inside here. So now I have put deliberately a number that I know is going to make this true the first time, and then I don't know when it's going to be true, because now the user is going to be giving me the number. So the first time I decide what's the number, because I want this to be true, and then the next time the user is going to be deciding. And then it's going to work. But I forced it to enter. Now when this is going to work, you look, it's much simpler, takes less code, and it gives us the same result. Inshallah, let's try it. One, 2,
3.
Where's the 3? 1, 2. It counted the -1. Why? Because I get -1 here, and then this -1 came after I asked already the question of should I go again. So this question doesn't help me, even if I put it this way, it doesn't help me solve my problem. I still have this problem of So what I can do, actually, I cannot just get rid of that. I will have to ask these questions, either with while or do while. But there's a better way, because the way we did it here, we can improve it. I'm going to show you how to improve it, actually. Instead of doing it like this, I mean, this will not work. This will not help, anyways. Okay. So let's go back to this one, because we built it and it seemed to okay. Let's remove this one, and instead of asking this like that, let me show you a better way to do it. Instead of going here, I'm going to ask, is the number after I got my number, right after the user entered the number, I'm going to ask, is the number positive? If it's positive, okay, get inside and try to find out if we need to increment the odd or need to increment the.
Else it will go.
If it was not positive, it's negative. That means we are going to get out and without incrementing anything. So we don't need this, okay? So let's just.
If inside it.
Yes. So again, all this checking and incrementation, I'm not doing it until I check that the number is really positive. If the number is negative, I'm not doing anything. For example, if it's -1, is -1 greater than 0? No. Okay, get out. -1 is greater than 0? No, get out. This way, I'm sure, inshallah. Number of odds, 2, because I have 1, 2, and that's it. This one is not counted. We can do the same thing with the while, exactly. But I don't want you to understand that the do while is not good. It's good enough. And it just gives me an idea that we don't need this, because I'm putting it to value here. So anyways, that's one example of how to solve that.